what are the common complaints can be converted into opportunities. So today we are going to, many people run away or say that, oh, people should not complain, it's negative and all. But today we are going to look at how we will convert those complaints energy into opportunities. Let's begin. By the way, so for how many of you don't know me? Some of you know me, some of you don't. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Yashaswi. I live in Bangalore. I'm a founder of Divine Success Flow. Welcome, Alan. So I do train people. I do train entrepreneurs on AI adaptation, agent, AI consult. We have trained more than 2,000 people so far since last 18 months. And consulting big enterprises, solopreneurs, and also currently we are building 711 AI first businesses where solopreneurs like you or entrepreneurs like you can run the businesses. Welcome.
So my name is Mohammed Ali. I live in Washington, D.C. and I have education background, developer, cloud engineer, developer of AI, and so forth. So I'm here to join Shawi to talk about SaaS, different issues that you're having, how to develop it, and how to sell it. Thank you.
Being in, how many of you get that this era is where like the software engineering become something that's accessible to even not just people who studied software, but with the harnesses and LLMs, it's accessible to each and everyone so that now everyone become a problem solver, right? So there are a lot of problems, and whoever uses powerful tools, powerful infrastructure, all this ChatGPT, Claude, and all this is providing without having to know about the technology and architecture, but you can wipe code and develop and solve any problems, right? Make a lot of money. How many of you are willing to make a lot of money and thrive in this era? So type in money in the chat box. There are hardly the revolutions come like this, where the internet era came in, like when electricity, like the automobile came in. So now we are in a greatest era where AI become a powerful partner for us. Okay, so let's begin. Where do we start? Like, where do we actually many people have been failing because they are working on learning AI tools. They are working on produce, because I produce videos, I produced with AI website. They are failing because the starting point for any solution or any monetization need to be what? A painful problem. So today we are going to address the fundamental root cause of AI monetization, where the starting from complaints. When do people complain? When do people complain? Somebody, when do people complain about anything? Like, you may complain about traffic, you can complain about
when they are frustrated.
exactly how long people can stay in that frustration, irritation, pain, right? Not much of time. That is the opportunity introduce software as a solution, software as a service, right? SaaS product to solve their pain points, take them out of the pain point, right? So complaints are not bad, problems are not bad. They are the symptoms that are going to show us that the long running problem that has created frustration, irritation, anger with them, which we are going to look at how we will be taking through step by step and solving that, right? So first thing to do is anyway, catching the complaint. They are the evidence record of like what pain they have, who's the person. Like the two things that we need is who is this character and what is the complaint that they have. That becomes the trigger, and when then we look at the frequency, and then we look at the scoring them, then we go to expand, right? So here is the map that we have for today for you. That is like we frame what is the complaint first chain that we are going to solve, right? Find the sources, like what are the sources where you can start finding these real problems that you can solve. not all the complaints are actually going to give you money, but we qualify them, like we score them, qualify them whether they should be implemented or they will be making us the revenue, because without revenue, implementing anything will become just a piece of code sitting in a machine. And then we validate and we outreach, demo, build, and then choose to offer and commit for it, right? So what is a SaaS? SaaS is any repeatable workflow, repeatable use of job that we write with software to add a customer value, right? So people pay subscription when an useful job, which is recurring for them, keeps them, adds value to them, right? So how do we our approach? Our approach is to um, look at the complaints, like, whom it is a complaint, like, the complaint could be for a doctor, complaint could be for a founder, complaint could be for an AI agency owner, right? So identifying the role and as well as the complaint, and then identify what is the signal here, and what are the real pain behind that. Then we get a paid pilot and build a MVP. We don't go ahead and build a full solution, but build a MVP, showcase them, and then it's approved. We go to the market, because if it's a pain for one person, it could be pain for multiple people as well, right? There are multiple ways where you can discover the SaaS opportunities. One is the complaint led, where people start complaining. Then we look at these complaints could be found in LinkedIn, found in Reddit. They could be in Reddit channels, or like, LinkedIn comments. How does it look like? I'm not able to do this, or like it's taking too much time. Cannot be solved at all. So complaints, language of complaint looks like that. Some of the other places where we can discover SaaS opportunities are already existing winning SaaS products, right? Like the some of the websites, some of the sites like Product Hunt, where every week the releases happen, the SaaS owners release it, and the users also have the complaints on the existing product. So it's an opportunity for you to take the existing winning product, whatever complaint is there, implement repetitive complaint is there, implement it and make the release a better product. Right? Could be a SaaS idea. Manual to automation, that is manual workflows that currently happening a professional, and it is being taking time, or they're spending salaries on that. That could be automated. That could be eligible for SaaS. And any service to SaaS, internal tool spin out, right? There are many such criteria. And also, one of the important criteria could be your own problem. See, whatever you currently facing as a problem could be one of the ideas for your SaaS, right? Where you can solve that by solving it for 100 other. If it is there for you, it should be there for 100 other people. If you solve it for 100 other people using building a SaaS, it should be automatically solved for you as well. Yeah, audience owned opportunities, right? So any regulation coming up triggers a lot of opportunities to build as well, because it requires a lot of mandates. Some of the instructive cases like Calendly, Zapier, and recently, how Cursor was bought $2 billion, right? Opportunity is huge. And how many of you think, like, because it's not possible by me, like, it will take a lot of time for me to build it, or don't know, that's why I can't, I'm not eligible to be a SaaS founder. How many of you think that way? How many of you think it is too much technical, lot of steps is there to be implemented? I'm not a techie. It requires infrastructure, server. I don't know how to get people sign up for my SaaS product, right? How many of you think that you cannot, are bad at sales, right? So yeah. What else? What else are the barriers or resistances that are currently stopping you to become a $1 million SaaS owner, right? Good at sales, but not too technical. Got that. What other things? Like, I can't find maybe my idea will not win. Maybe my idea, if I implement, don't know whether people will want it or not. Right? Yeah. I don't have much money to build. It requires a lot of money to build that. Yeah, exactly. Don't have the capital that's required to make $1 million, right? Fantastic. I want you to keep all this, right? So look at all this, and we're going to this disappear one by one. Okay. So yeah, that's that. Like the discovery process itself. Like some other places where you can really find SaaS opportunities is where there are people when they are frustrated, when they are not happy with the product, they do raise support tickets, right? So they do cancel subscriptions. Those are the good places to find the reasons why they want to switch to a new, better featured product, right? So yeah, this is we have a demo after this. So this is the preface. Soon heading into a demo of the what SaaS build requires. So we'll go through this quickly. So public sources where you find the clues are in the LinkedIn comments. You might find it in the Twitter or X conversations, YouTube comments, communities like Reddit, Slack, and Facebook or WhatsApp. Like you, like if your mind should be a scanner for where are people having frustration, pain, and yeah, like your scanner, like your antenna is always active. Oh, where are the pain points? Where are the complaints? Like as you are in the because those are the opportunities for you to quickly convert it into a solution, right? Reviews like G2 Captera, App Store reviews, like the where you open App Store and you see a lot of reviews there, like 1 to 3 stars. You should be able to means there is opportunity to better that product or enhance that product. Competitor reviews, right? Industry forums, right? People who attend webinars, people who attend workshops, right? Like people who attend conferences, right? Yeah, search for Reddit, Quora are probably the best places because it's uh, meant to be a dump of problems people have or complaints people have. Yeah, you can find competitor analysis in G2 or Captera, and you can visit support or sales pages like sales tickets where people have logged in. And trust me, you don't trust me. It looks like complex when you start using wherever like. One thing with the AI is whatever find when we say AI first, what do we mean by that? Whatever you are currently finding it complex, whatever you are currently finding it stuck, whatever you don't know currently, who should be who's where should you go first? Should you be stuck? Should you be looking at becoming able then getting monetized, or where should you first go? Like if you have no solutions, if you have no answers, you are challenged. You find something complex. The first yeah, so yeah, absolutely. AI first means how can wisdom in AI or how can AI help me complete this task, right? So that's the opportunity. Wherever you are struggling or getting wall, right? There, the first thing to that wall disappeared or how that barrier disappeared is to get consulting, not with your mind, which doesn't have the answer yet, but to consult the bigger intelligence that is um, LLMs and chat GPTs and all this, right? So that's what has removed all these barriers where the opportunities have increased. You are entering a new world where anyone can be a SaaS owner and make millions of dollars, right? And it also looks like if anybody could make, why you, right? If everybody could use LLM and make money, or if anybody could you build SaaS products, then is it not going to be overwhelmed and unvalued? You may have that question, right? Why will people buy from me, right? People don't. How many of you had ideas somebody else implemented and now it's become a product and making a lot of money? How many of you had idea which you didn't implement, but somebody else did it and it's working as a great product, right? That is the moat now. That is the advantage now. It's not who has the idea, but who implements it currently the advantage. So how many of you are going to be action takers and implement the AI era, solve problem for somebody that saves time for somebody, that saves money for somebody, that brings revenue for somebody. How many of you are that? Type in a type in uh, oh yeah, biggest issue are there. Like, but action for action taker, right? So type in action taker if you are. That is the mode, right? So your worker, if your employee is not performing well, it's my job to train that employee. So yeah. See, right now there is a complaint in the chat, right? So like you can convert this complaint into training opportunity, right? How to build the AI that doesn't hallucinate. Several people will buy that, right? So many of you are finding the opportunities to see the complaints, right? Converting the complaints into opportunities. And got that. Thank you, Kingsley, Karthik, Alan. Appreciate that. So yeah, you get the exact words to find the buyer and context, like what are their company doing, what are their constraints, what triggered them, right? So capture everything. How frequently have a problem that is one time, it may not be worth solving a SaaS product. It may be worth solving as a service, right? One time. But if it's repetitive, then frequency, whether it's daily, weekly, certain time, episodic, then you can do that. People trying to look for workaround, or people trying to look for how else that can be done, which is taking time to build a product that can save time. Do that and save time. People are losing the money, losing the time, or having a risk, reputational risk. That means if they don't implement this, they may lose the license, or dragging into delays means they may lose to their competitors if they don't implement AI right now, right? So those can be SaaS products as well. Your product should be able to bring desired outcome or observable improvement into their. So some of you, some of you are already into business. Write in who are your target audience ICPs in the chat box. Type in the chat box who are your target audience, or who do you serve, who actually, where do revenue comes for you for your business, or even if you are solopreneur, write that. Where does small and medium businesses? Fantastic. You can say which country also, small and medium businesses, even your future, like who do you target to see when you solve problems for people who have money, you can exchange that with money, right? SaaS products subscriptions very cheap, like they are 99 to 99 per month, which can be affordable, right? France e-commerce platform in USA, amazing, right? You may want to, when you're choosing the ICP, make sure you choose the problem is worth the payment, and ICP, the persona, is having sufficient money to pay for solving this problem, right? Yeah, right. It's verbatim one exact complaint of the ICP, and then define the ICP, collect 20, 50 reviews, right? Publicly owned. Maybe get on a call with them, interview them. Hey, last time this happened, what did you, how did it impact? Maybe I want to spend 15 minutes with you. That's validation, right? Yeah. Tag the evidence, and then, does having a problem itself or having a complaint itself is going to get you money? May not be. That's why you need to climb commitment ladder. That means, you need to see, many people have desires and wants. Doesn't mean they will get that in their life, right? So simply a desire, want. Is it a burning desire? Is it a absolute necessity for them? So you may want to interview them. You may want to find the evidence, you may want to see multiple people coming up with that problem. You may want to look at what are the workarounds that has not worked for them, right? Then even maybe you can ask for a token amount, or building a prototype for them, right? So based upon that, once you evaluate evidence, you'll be able to assess whether this is a proceed, or you have to park it, you need to reframe, right? Yeah, some of the Reddit examples are, lean team employer, but there is a lean team want to strong workflow fit from one public signal. That is, complaint will look like I'm spending nearly 50% of my day on repetitive tasks. They want to have even if you are a solopreneur, you will look like your day, you look like the activities you did yesterday, almost 80% of it would have been repeating today, right? What if you can hand over those tasks SaaS, right? So visible workflows, right? Manual access provisioning or manual repetitive questions that you are answering to, right? So human controlled onboarding coordinator, lean teams, collects documents, routes approvals, coordinates access tasks, send reminders, and expose exceptions. Measure admin time to ready, do not assume willingness to play. So this is the product hypothesis, this complaint, right? So this another example is a construction estimating delays. This is a score 93 out of 100, and we will discuss how we came up with that. Right. So I've tried templates in Word, but it still takes too long customizing everything. This is the exact public expert, like exact words given in contractor community, right? Multiple times. So it's nighttime estimating and like slow turnaround, reported lost bids. That means when they delay, the bids are lost to their competitors. These are the mistakes. I mean, this actually impacts their business. This complaint coming because they have something at stake. That means they have something to lose when that's why they are complaining, right? Yeah, evidence gap is quantify the hours and tools spent. That means the tools that they may solve this, but they may have to invest higher tools. A product SaaS product hypothesis would be a human reviewed. What if I build you a human reviewed estimating workspace, turns a project scope into reusable assemblies? Not only that, prices inputs and exclusions and an approval ready estimate for you so that you simply have to come review, approve, it is done. Preserve contractor judgment, never claim automatic pricing accuracy, guaranteed bids, right? So you are this complaint when you come up with this product hypothesis, will also show how it is going to, how you're going to come up with. Yeah, these are the qualifier signals. That means like 6 signals that compel you to compel complainer to go for paid SaaS. That means it should be repeated, frequent, and it should be painful. It's painful means what? It should be pinching somewhere, either delay, risk, rework, lost capacity, lost offers or lost deals, time consuming. Specific reachable buyer. This should be reachable buyer, somebody whom we can point out. Oh, this guy event manager here, right, in US. This founder, B2B founder here, sitting in New York, Washington, with 20 people in his team. Right? So existing workaround spend, people already are willing to spend on that, like already are asking what are the tools available. Measured desired outcome, repeatable software workflows. When you score on this one, and anything that you get a score below 75 is not worth, below 50 is not worth taking forward. But when you score all this on all these signals, if it is 50 to 74, you need to interview more so that you can refine, review your hypothesis proposal. If it's 75 to 100, it's valid. It's a fit for you to go ahead and conduct the interviews and actually test the market to get the payment, right? Score your complaint in 2-3 minutes. We are going to look at that. Yeah, lean team. So these are some of the scores we did for lean team employees, because lean team employees don't want to spend on hiring. They don't want to waste on repetitive tasks. So absolute fit was, I think, from the Reddit. Construction estimates is 93 out of 100. Scores great in repetitive, like because the proposals repetitive. And yeah, buyer hypothesis, you're not going to, it's not just the demographic, you also look at the different attributes. Yeah, don't use this to threaten them, or don't use this to ask them whether they have this pain. Ask them it's costing them money. Ask them it's costing them. What is it costing them in terms of effort and everything? Just people saying I'm interested is not equal to payment, not equal to a successful SaaS product. Success means where you are able to earn revenue. It needs to backed by the payment evidence. How do you transition from a just complainer to a retainer? By observe the complaints, interview them, prototype, share free prototype or a paid prototype, and deliver outcome manually, then convert it into a SaaS product and paid pilot, and then go for a retainers or a even bigger market, right? So how do you interview anybody to see if they really are having this problem? Is the pain deep enough that they will take the money and give it to you? Is when did this last happen? What triggered it? Walk me through exactly what you did. Where did time, money, revenue, risk, or confidence get lost? This is qualification, okay? It's going to tell you at all they are qualified to move ahead in the commitment level. So who else was involved? What work tools did you try that didn't work? What happened because it was not solved, right? So that you can do the analysis and you can include that in your product. How often does it happen? Repeatability. Who owns the budget or decision? Do they have he the decision maker or somebody else? Are you talking to the right people? What have you paid for or tried before? Means are they having any back doors open? That means are they already having any other solutions in their mind so that when you close the door, path is clear for them, right? So your solution should be a clear path. So what measurable results would you make define paid pilot worth? So if they answer all these questions, you will be able to easily say whether they would be I would like to get this solved. Will not. Yeah, manual first, and anything that you do manual, you will be able to see workflows can be automated. Anything that's documented can be automated. First, you need to this be manually done with the existing tools. Then you can convert. Choose the delivery model. That's productized service and then software as a service. Yeah, this is like many people tell that like I'm not able to find a virality, how to go viral in LinkedIn. So many people have this complaint. Many people like this is one of the other one proposal workflow MEP examples that we had. This package and pricing, how do you package and price is not based upon how many hours you are taking or like how easy for it to implement. You will ask the outcome based questions. That means if you implement this solution, how much, even if they close one client, how much money is they going to get, right? So if somebody is getting 100,000 per annum, they will be happy to invest 5,000 to 10,000 on your solution, right? So if they can see, if you can present in a way, they can see that they can make $100,000, 5,000 to $10,000 is your test the price. Different tires available so that people can make a choice, right? Then give them the choice. Like what is the cost of cost hiring a person? What is the cost of time delay? Get them present to the cost. What has it costed you that this problem is not solved for you for last 2 years, right? Maybe 200,000. So continue that. Cost is compounding, right? So pricing, choose one buyer, one channel, one call to action, and when you go to market, you find your first success and find 100 people like them, and exactly same messaging as the pain point. Ethical, LinkedIn, commitment, vanity. Yeah, we covered that. And GTM has become like go to market. There is nothing but like how you present such that like the people who have problem, you go to the place where they are and talk in a way that they can understand what problem your product solves, as well as they understand that you are the right person to solve. So simple GTM, like you can use the channels like X, LinkedIn. We have done the automations. This now it has become with ChatGPT and OpenClaw and all this, right? Like it has become very easy for you, any SaaS founder, to find the right audience, get the clients, right? So yeah, your offers plus message and scale the winning candidates, test A, test B, test C, right? So yeah, with that, I would like to let me see if anything else is there. Yeah, you find a complaint, you find the buyer or who's complaining, and then you find score that, yeah, then you build the MVP and then you get the payment in, right? AI accelerates, but you are the one who's going to build the trust, and as well as without you, AI can be multiplier if you are are implementing it's if you are a if you're not scaling, AI cannot help. Like if you don't have a scaling mindset, right? Like AI can help multiply. It cannot multiply with 0 or 1, but it can multiply with 1.5 or 2. Right? So yeah, large outcomes follow sharp repeated workflow. And cursor replit. You have seen that. You don't need to be cursor replit. These are huge wins. Can be $1 million, yeah, right? Which is very much doable with the easy equation, easy math. That means even if you have 842 customers paying $99 per month, you are 1 million year, right? SaaS product. You can have $500 into 168 customers 1 year paying you that. So you become a $1 million. And the game is exit game, not the once you show this exit games or like acquisition game starts. So you can be acquired for like how the was applied acquired, right?
You develop a software and sell it. WhatsApp is an example of SaaS. Have you guys heard of Netflix? I think now it's international by now. So that would be an example of SaaS. Alan, you said that you are a teacher, I think education. Example of a SaaS would be, let's say, the website you go to where a teacher or an institution will post a course, and the teacher posts assignments. The students would go in there, and let's say they submit an assignment. The teacher posts grade for that student, gives a feedback. You have this application that everyone can kind of join and communicate, posting things, respond to each other, and so forth. So there are apps that they have created. So that would be an example of a SaaS. The students actually paid for it, taking that course, and the teacher is getting paid to teach that class, and the institution is charging the class to be offered, right? To make it even simpler, let's say you have a lemonade stand, right? So the SaaS business would be the software. You have thirsty people, right? So those will be your customers. Let's say you have the lemonade stand would be then the website or the application that you're developing. In this case, we said Netflix, some of these learning modules, right? And then let's say you are selling $99 or even $1 for that cup of lemonade, then that would be like the subscription that you're getting. And then let's say you have a sign on the corner and you're saying, hey, I'm selling a lemonade. That would be the marketing that you would do, that you go outside and say, hey, this is what I have. This is what I can create and buy it from me. So you tell a friend, say, by the way, I have a lemonade stand and I sell lemonade. That would be even friends talking to each other. That would be word of mouth. So having the best lemonade, then that would be the best solution that whatever you are thinking about, you're doing. Now, customers coming back for a second lemonade, that would be renewing the subscription that you did a great job on that. SaaS, in the past, it used to be somebody would actually develop. I used to be a developer back in the days, and then I moved to cloud architect, where I used to do migrations from premise to the cloud. So we used to develop website, or even an application when Steve Jobs came with creating your own app and deploying it in there for $99, still $99 by the way, to deploy an app that having that. So we used to create a website and then all your content on there, and it would take time, right? Even a simple website can easily take a couple of weeks. We would create the website, and then all of a sudden you have a website now out of billions of websites, right? The first website I built was back in 1999. So then it was very few, and everybody would come for news and so forth. It would take time, and you didn't have to market. Maybe you will tell it every now and then. You call people. Not everybody had a cell phone back then, right? But that would kind of like the marketing or the word of mouth, right? But now it doesn't take that long. Now we have an AI, right? And with everything, it has its problems. Whether you say it hallucinates, whether you say it does that, it uses a lot of water, it uses this and that. At the end of the day, if the big boy says we are using it and we are doing it, you might as well join them. You know how they say, if you can't beat them, you join them, right? So you might as well take part in that rather than just complaining and saying, why this, why that? Now, AI is out there, right? It's going to dominate the market, right? We don't have a choice. By 2030, everyone would have some type of machine in their house, right? At least I would think the Western world, right? Those that can actually afford, and those countries, they have their, what do you call it? Their GDP is a little bit higher and they have some money left to buy extra gadgets. So the idea now is like, how can I be part of that? How can I develop something that will solve this type of issues, right? So AI is there. Now, what used to take that long to develop does not take that long. You can pretty much spend as long as you know exactly what you want. I want to develop, create a lemonade stand, sell lemonade, reach out to people. All this can be created. You can create agents. We passed the age of generative AI, where you're just asking a question and then gives you a response. We are at the agentic AI. We are at the age of agents and agentic AI, where you can actually develop an application, let's say whether it's Claude or any of these LLMs that can connect to something else that can do something. Just to give you an idea, some of the things that we have developed. I developed one where Claude spins something, connects one of the apps, creates scripts, creates videos, and posts to some of the social medias that whether it's YouTube, Facebook, any of these. It automatically creates it. It doesn't have to be. I'll be sleeping. I just make sure that my laptop is on somewhere near where I am, that is connected. And all that happens in seconds. We had another one that we created where it will reach out to, let's say, lawyers. It will reach out to clients that you're interested in. It grabs the list of emails, scrapes the website, sends emails, and then does follow-ups without you being involved. And the minute there's a potential client, then you'll get an alert, then where you will actually be the human person that is in the middle to communicate. All these can now easily be done within just a few hours. So that's the age that we are to develop such SaaS. Does not take that long unless it's heavy. One of the ones colleague has done for proposal, whether you're going after any of the grants in the US, we have what's called NSF or National Science Foundation. That takes a long time to go through and get that grant and write all that. So they have requirements, let's say 15 pages, it has to be this and that. Now, these agent that pretty much does that you can pay a subscription, some of the products that we develop and apply for that grant. Does all that for you. You don't have to hire somebody, give them 150K just to write that. I mean, sometimes they get a percentage. It depends on how much grant is. So that's where we are. But now let's say you develop that. And what do you do? Now what you have to do is, who needs your product, right? That's the hard part. Everyone can kind of do or kind of learn how to do that. So now you have to explain the problem. Hey, I can really do that. And say, let's say in this case of this proposal application, you have to go to people and say, or even institutions, organizations that keep going after grants, right? Instead of just going sam.gov to get a grant, you can go to some of these companies and say, hey, I can write that for you, right? You have to explain the problems they're having, or they explain to you and then say, this is what I can do for you. And then give them a solution. Now with AI, you can show them a real solution and say, here we are applying this specific grant. And you will see it going back and forth doing. As I'm talking to you, I have one that's running, actually doing the work. I cannot specifically share that while I was troubleshooting on some of the things I was connecting. So now you can be concentrating on one and AI or that agent can be doing another thing, right? Sometimes if you have clients, because some of these, it costs, right? Whether it's Claude or Gemini, what do you call OpenAI, ChatGPT, you pay tokens. So each time it's running and doing some of this work, they charge you by the tokens, right? You cannot easily do it unless you know there's a potential client or they're actually trying to pay some money to get it done, right? Or you can have one that's recorded. So the whole idea is to get them to pay. So the whole idea is to get them to pay and to make them happy. You can't give them, say, I'm selling lemonade, and all of a sudden you're giving them Coke. That's not what they pay for. They want a real lemonade, right? So, any questions? Do you understand what SaaS is now? Okay. The whole idea of these agents is to replace these financial planners, to replace, these lawyers, some of the things, virtual assist, any of these, it's easily replaceable now. Because these financial planners, I'm sorry to say, they're just taking your money. Some of these things now, as long as you know to ask the right questions, you can write something, you can replace what they were doing for you. And it actually connects in the back end. Now it's real time, the data that's updated, right? Even you can get a back end story, what to buy, what not to buy. Now our president charges $100,000 subscribe to his account so that you can get that's going to be the next news that will change the market. Okay. Questions, comments? Yeah, feel free to chime in, Yashaswi, anytime. So how does these agents work for us? So it depends what you develop. Like, let's say it could be the one that you are using to market. Hey, I am teacher. Let's say I am tutoring. It sends emails to, let's say, the library sends email to the different teachers and say what I can do. So let's say somebody responds, you're following up with that. So it's doing all that without you being involved. That's one way you can use these agents, right? Like it will send out mass emails and say, this is the type of service that I do. I tutor math, I tutor computer science, I tutor biology. This is how much I charge. You keep sending these emails on your behalf, right? And then the minute you get a response, let's say you do follow-ups, then you come in there and say, okay, I can do that. Let's meet this or do that. So that is how these agents work. Now, what if it fails? It does fail. Sometimes the connections fail. So you as the individual, let's say if you are connecting Claude with Zapier's, like one of the ways like you can connect MCP connections. Let's say it fails. You have to go in there and make sure that the connection is there every now and then. The MCP connection you have to do. If it fails, you go in there and fix it. And it tells you the error. And even sometimes if you're confused of what to do, you can ask Claude or ChatGPT, I don't know what this is. Here's the screenshot. You go ahead and fix it for me. It will say, give me access to your Chrome tab. You give access, and then it will do the fixing for you. Think of it as your own developer. Think of it as your own virtual assistant doing the work for you. Everything fails. Even human beings fail, right? We all fail. Something fails in life. It doesn't matter about your age. So imagine something in the
What
human being
even
that fails,
Mohammed,
developer. Of course they will fail, right? You can still use another human being to fix another human being that failed. The same thing. If agents fail, you can use the agents to fix the other agent.
yeah. Even life has become even further simpler. Now you see on my screen,
Yeah.
I don't type on the keyboard, but the agent sitting like, this round ball, the agent sitting that does the work of development, that does the work of fixing, that does see what error happens, right? So it's outreaching, like if you see it's outreaching and everything. So the things have moved very advanced now that no more are stopped by don't what the things that we don't know, or like what the things that are complex that we can't fix, right? So thanks advancement. Yeah. You want to show anything, Mohammed, on the demo side?
What could you have yours you want to share? Let's see.
What does typical SaaS would look like, SaaS flow would look like, right?
A lot of things happening right now, so I don't know if I want to share those. Let's see.
Okay, no problem. So then maybe I
So
can
let's
share.
see. Let me see here.
So how many of you want to utilize this opportunity and, in next 90 days before the end of 2026, you want to make this as a business where you earning from by solving this problem and becoming a SaaS founder? Type in SaaS in the chat box. How many of you would like to not miss out this opportunity? Right? Um, to give you a overview, right? Yeah, I did get that. I uploaded.
Let's see if I can share this. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
So this is an example of where I connected Claude with one of my business sites to kind of like update some of the things that I want people to know, or kind of like a blog type, right? So it goes to the website, then posts a certain topic. And this is all automated because you have an idea, you give to sources to use and say, I want you to write about this topic. I want you to use these resources, the latest news on this topic, whether it's ERP, whether it's a new AI, and then say post this regularly or weekly. So you can say every Saturday, every 2 weeks on this topic and so forth. These are like the different posts. The website that you see, it creates this website and posts the content. So this is one way that you can use agents to kind of develop creative websites, post on your behalf, creates the images for you, pretty much everything. I barely get involved once it's set up. So this is an example of an agent that does the work for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, for those of you who really want to utilize this opportunity, right? So,
Michael, that is correct. Yeah. So every now and then, if something breaks, then you need something to come in. So now here, I can show you another screen for a second. Let's see. You see my screen? As I was talking to you, something broke. So now it says, hey, I was trying to create this video for you. There is a connection that failed with Zapier and the API. Every now and then it happens. So later on, when I get off this call, I need to look at it. What happened? Is it the connection? Is it the API? So something like that every now and then happens. It didn't happen, I can say the last maybe 3-4 weeks, I didn't have this issue. So sometimes that happens because I haven't been involved as much. So every now and then you need to come in and then look at it. Sometimes all you have to do is just say click connect and then we'll do it for you.
Okay.
So that was another agent that I created that creates videos and posts every popular video platform, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and all.
Yeah. So you're running something important in your business. There is something called as heartbeat, right? There is self-healing agents also. There are agents that are working on fixing the agents also. Okay, there is something called as open human, which we are working on, which does see that the other agents are working, and there is agents to heal that and the heartbeats and all that. Of course, so this is evolving. Like, humans can make errors, agents can fail, but we will find a way around, right? Something one of our agents did, right, where whatever we explained, right, like how to convert a complaint into SaaS product, this explained this to agent and it built this app for me, right? I had to do this. I had to go through all the Reddit one by one. I have to subscribe and find it, and then evaluate everything. Roughly, it would have taken maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks to come up with all this, right? Guess what? Agent that available had this done for us, right? Like, it went to product hunt, researched the hypothesis of the existing winning products, scored that these are already winning products where the people are already paying more than $1 million ARR, right? For these are making. It went to Reddit and found who are complaining what, like what are HRs complaining about, what are project managers complaining about, what are realtors complaining about, and how many realtors are complaining. It also took all those from different places like Reddit, Product Hunt, LinkedIn, right, Twitter, right, all these places, and already scored this. Not just score, you see this like contractor, or if you uh, see the like somebody said the e-commerce, right? Any of this one, right? So if you see, it's given the full evidence why, given the evidence of repetitions, given the evidence of why this is an anchor, given the evidence buyer intent, right? Everything, right? Scored it, and not just scored it, has also prepared the pain in buyer psychology, why they will want to invest on this, right? And everything. This itself is an example of a problem solving app, right? Like how many of you the problem that you cannot come up with all of this, or if it will take time for you to come up with all this and you won't do it because it takes time. How many of you are like that? How many of you find this difficult, or how many of you find it complex to even come up with this kind of research, or takes time to come up with this, right? And that's exactly what the solving, right? You see there are like hundreds of them, and created the whole scoreboard, MVP development prototype, and the full documentation. Here, one of you use this opportunity to elevate yourself, thrive in this economy. Yeah. Mohammed, anyone you want to say?
No, that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us.
Amazing. Thank you for being an amazing audience.